Hey everyone, welcome back to Two Nerds in a Podcast. Today's episode is a little different. We are nearing the Spotify wrap up season,
Mm-hmm.
and we decided to do it's a TikTok trend
Yes.
called Hear Me Out. And we decided what better way to do that than with songs.
Yeah, because I feel like we both have Casey and I would say have like impeccable music taste, but also like that same
Absolutely.
impeccableness can go like way into the trash.
Yeah, absolutely.
I know there's been a few times where because I'm one of those crazy people that I just have like my liked songs on shuffle when we're driving anywhere, and I'll have
Which
some
is
songs
insane.
pop up, and Casey's like, "What is this?" And I'm like, "Listen, leave me alone."
You're like, hear
So
me out.
hear me
Listen
out.
to it.
Like, it's a good song. You can't tell me otherwise. You can like not like it, but you can't tell me that it's not good. But yeah, so when we were trying to brainstorm, because I have a surprise for you at the end of this episode, which will be
A
what our topic
surprise.
for the next episode is. Yes, a surprise and slash gift. So I'm very excited, but we'll get to that later.
Oh,
But I was like literally, I've been seeing this TikTok trend, and for the most part, a lot of them, I'm like, how is that a hear me out? Like some of them, I'm like, no,
yeah.
girl, it's not a hear me out. Like that's just like a regular choice.
Right, like, we all feel the same way. It's you don't
Yeah.
have to I saw one that was, like, the number 8,
Oh, I mean,
and I was like
sure, I guess.
and the lady was so confused, she was like, "The what? 8?" Um, some of them are really funny, and some of them are like,
Yeah.
yeah, you know,
Some of them, I'm like, you picked
yeah.
the most like I don't know, like just not the most crazy options you could have picked. Like my favorite is when they're all like animated characters because I'm like, okay, I get you, but also like when they get crazy and it's like the non-people animated characters and I'm
Yeah, like, the
like
cars and, like
cars, animals, and I'm just like, wow. Like that's definitely a hear me out, but like I also understand some of them.
honestly, I I get it. I do
Yeah.
get it.
But also like I'm in no place to judge. Like I'm in no place to judge anybody. Like my tastes are all over the place in everything. So, but with this trend in particular, I feel like because the internet is a thing and we all realize that we're all weird, like the hear me outness is kind of like watered down, I would say, because like back in the day, you could say hear me out about this random side character in this one show and people would be like, "Really?" And you'd be like, "Yeah." But like I feel like nowadays with the internet, with fan fiction and fan edits and all of that, like we realize that there's just other people that can match our freak, you know?
Yeah, true.
Alrighty. So I literally randomly I think I saw one of these videos the other night and I text Casey and I was like, I have an idea for the next episode. What if we do like a hear me out thing but with music because we're both big music junkies and we have been for a long time. And I feel like because we've known each other so long, our music taste has definitely evolved, but also
Yes.
like we are both very nostalgic people. So we hang on to like weird little songs from like earlier in our lives, but also we discover the most random weird songs now. Um
Yeah. Especially, like, I feel like when you are, like, nerdy too, like, you just find the craziest some of the internet songs are
yeah.
interesting, and TikTok too, like, TikTok bringing some of these songs through.
Yeah.
TikTok is a big influence on my music taste sometimes.
Especially cuz TikTok gets you with like the most like random part of a song. And then so you have to listen now you just like put it in the playlist to listen to the song to listen to that particular bit. Or I
That
find a lot
one
of
30-second part.
yeah, I find a lot of remixes through TikTok.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, I would have never like put that song in my playlist, but like the remix version, absolutely.
Yeah, For sure. Do you wanna take the reins on this one
I
and
can. It
dive
doesn't
into your
matter.
playlist?
We're gonna go through mine first.
Okay, we'll
It's
do yours first.
okay. So as I was telling Casey before we started recording, I when I was originally compiling this list, I had like a full playlist. I had like a 30-song playlist. And I was like, most of these aren't like a hear me out. I feel like they've become quote unquote mainstream enough that it didn't matter. So I
Mhm.
really had to narrow down, and I will say a few of them are YouTube related, which is no
Oh.
surprise. I think I
Yeah,
have
true.
two YouTube related ones. And then I was telling Casey that for me, when I was making this playlist, there were some songs on there that like I like, but if they were to like pop up while I was like driving somewhere or whatever, I'd skip them. So I narrowed it down to the songs that instead of skipping it, I like crank the volume and
Ah,
sing at the
uh-huh.
top of my lungs. So I like know the words to these songs. So this is like a completely like I need you to hear me out, but also if you hate the song, I
Yeah,
understand.
if you hate it, I'm not faulting you in any way.
Yeah. And some of these songs I do have in my work playlist that I play when I'm closing the store at work. And every time they come on, I'm like, what is this song? And then it gets about 3 seconds in, I'm like, oh, it's this one. And I've had a few
Oh.
people go, is this? And I'm like, yeah, it is. It is that song. And the first one that I have on here that I do that with is the Goofy Goober Rock from the SpongeBob movie.
Goofy goober! You're a goofy goober!
I'm a goofy goober. Yeah, honestly, mood.
So good.
That's a good one. That is a
Yeah.
classic right there.
And I feel like it's just so good, but also like when people go, "What is this song?" and you say it's the Goofy Goober Rock from the SpongeBob movie, doesn't sound as cool,
How
especially
would people not know what the Goofy Goober Rock is? I feel like everybody should know. That is like it should be like our national anthem. Like everybody should
yeah,
know it.
it should. You should. Also like
Although I don't think I
there's
know the national anthem, but I know the Goofy
that's
Goober Rock,
but you know
okay?
Goofy Goober Rock, and that's honestly all that matters.
And that's
But
as
also
American as it comes.
yeah. Um Also people when I tell people that I like SpongeBob because like I grew up on I'm talking like OG SpongeBob, not current SpongeBob.
Mhm.
OG SpongeBob, like the first like 5 years of SpongeBob, solid. So
Absolutely.
when I say I like SpongeBob, people are like, "Oh, it's so weird." And I'm like, "You have to watch the like first like handful of seasons of SpongeBob cuz there's that's top
And then
tier."
you'll meet the people that, like, you'll make a SpongeBob reference, and they'll, like, come back at it with another reference, and it's like, "You are my person. You're my type
Yeah.
of people that I need in my life." Like, I love when I just, like, make a SpongeBob reference at work, and then somebody will, like, follow up on it, and I'm like,
Yeah.
this is amazing."
Yeah, it was fabulous. So, my friend's wedding happened a couple weeks ago, and for her guest book, she had one of those like it's a phone. So you pick up the phone, and it tells you to leave a message, and you like leave a message for the couple, right? Super cute.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool.
yeah, it was really cool. But me and I was in the wedding, so I was bridesmaid, and one of the other bridesmaids, she picked up the phone and asked, "Is this a Krusty Krab?" Right? In her best Patrick impression. And then she hung it up, and then I picked up the phone and went, "No, this is Patrick." So
Oh my
Emma
god.
has that to look forward to when she's listening back to all those probably very nice, emotional
Very
guest book
sweet, like
messages. And then there's just her goofy goober of two bridesmaids, you
Is
know?
that all you guys left?
No, I actually
That's
did.
the
We
only
actually did end up like leaving
Oh,
other
okay.
ones, but we did that
Oh my god, that'd be
first.
funny if that
And
was, like, the
then,
only one you left. You'd be like, "That's it? What?
yeah.
Nothing else?"
Oh, but yeah, it was great. So yeah, when somebody matches your SpongeBob energy, it's like 10 out of 10.
Oh, chef's kiss.
Yeah. I think my most frequently used is "Do you feel it now, Mr. Krabs?" I say that to people all the
Oh,
time
that's
at
my
work.
favorite one. I've been saying I've lately for some reason, all I've been saying at work is, "Who you calling pinhead?" And then my coworkers will be like, "I'm Dirty Dan," and then I'll be like, "No, I'm
No,
Dirty
I'm
Dan."
Dirty Dan.
We just keep going. It's so great. Which one of you's
Uh,
Dirty Dan?
oh, I love
Um,
that.
yes.
Okay. Uh song I just put these randomly in an order on this playlist, so they're not in any particular order. They're just like as I scrolled through my like songs, it just popped up.
That's
So
how
my
mine are,
next
yeah, same.
so my next one, which I did force upon Casey because it was forced upon me by my friend Ben, which is Forklift Simulator, which is a song that uses the voices of the Game Grumps when they were playing Forklift Simulator. I'm here to tell you it's a
I've been
bop.
to jail many times. Forklift simulator, forklift simulator. I've been to jail so many times. Forklift simulator.
Like, it's so good.
It is. It is. And it makes you wanna play that game. Also, shout out to the Game Grumps because love them.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
That's gonna be stuck in my head now, I feel like, because
Yeah. Forklift
when I texted you
Simulator.
that
Do, do, do,
earlier
do,
this
do,
week,
do,
it was,
do,
like, stuck
do,
in my
do,
head after I
do,
texted you
do.
that.
Yeah, it does that. It's so
So,
catchy and
it
so
does.
good.
Yeah.
And it has a story in there, so you're just like, wow. And then my next one is also YouTube related, and it's called "Get Back Up" by Jacksepticeye.
Oh, that's how she said. Oh, you don't have to keep it, baby.
When he played through his Minecraft series, I can't remember who like made. He has like a couple of songs, but this is the one that like I had watched the series as it came out, and then this song was made, so I feel like I was like there for the entire adventure. And it's very uplifting. It's also my alarm sound for for telling me to get up.
Yeah. So it's motivating.
It is. It's very motivating. It also makes me giggle. So if I'm feeling particularly stressed or sad on my way home, it's just windows down and that song all the way up.
And you're like, "That helps." That definitely helps. It's a little bit the little bit of serotonin I needed to get
Yeah,
through
it
the
really
day.
is. It truly is. The next one is an old song, and I feel like it's not necessarily a super like intense "Hear Me Out," but it's 50 Ways
Mhm.
to Say Goodbye by Train.
I'm getting suntan, feeling a cement mixer full of quicksand. Help me, I'm no good at
I love that song. I love
Yeah.
Train.
Yeah, it's a very random one, but I literally know the entire song. So, like, every time
Me
it comes
too.
on, I know all the lyrics. I think I got this song from you, honestly, in one of the ye old mixed
Probably. My
CDs.
mom loved Train.
Yeah, she did.
She did, she loved Train, and then one time okay, recently I did have an argument with my dad because I was
Mhm.
talking about how Creed is, like a like a Jesus band kinda, not really, but
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah.
My dad was like, "Ah, Train's a Jesus band," and I was like, "What are you actually talking about?" I have n what? And then I played, like, 5 songs, and I
Yeah.
was like, "Name one of the which one of those songs was a Jesus song?" And then my dad was like, No, it's a Jesus song." And I'm like, "You're
Oh my
ridiculous."
gosh.
Yes, but I love Train. I love that song so much.
Yeah. So I mean, like, listen, like most of my hit, like again, Casey and I have impeccable music taste. It just sometimes has a very strange variety in there. That's all.
Yeah. It's just
My my next one is probably actually my next two. I'm gonna say are probably like the most like out of left field that I probably have, and I almost took one of them off, and I was like, "Nah, I gotta keep it in there." And the next one is a Nickelback song, which I actually really love Nickelback, and a lot of people
Me
love
too.
Nickelback,
Me
but
too.
a lot of people also love to hate on Nickelback because it was popular to hate on them. To me, they're a good
Mhm.
band. Do all their songs sound very similar? Yes. But listen, I love me a good creative person that just gives me the same content all the time. So Nickelback to me is 10 out of 10, but it it is their song titled Sex.
X is just to mark the spot, 'cause that's the one you really want. Sex is always the answer. It's never a question, 'cause the
Don't ask me
Just
why.
sex?
It's technically spelled SEX. Like they have like the
Oh,
dots in
oh,
between because it's an acronym that they sing throughout the song. But there's something about like the guitars in this song. It's just like, I mean, it just sounds like a dirty song because it is a dirty song, but it's just like has that like dirty rock and roll, and I love it. Um, I love that whole I think it's their Dark Horse album, I think is what it was called. That whole album is really good. Don't I don't know why like I had that as a teen. I had that album. I've had that album since like high school. Known all these songs on there since high school. My second pick instead of that one was going to be Something in Your Mouth, and I was like, we could go either way. I figured Sex was probably the more out of left field one. Uh, but then,
mhm.
like,
Yeah.
immediately after that, I have Love Game by Lady Gaga.
This beat is sick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick. Don't think too much, just bust that stick. I wanna take a ride on your disco stick. Let's play a love game, play a love game. Do you want love or you want fame or you want
That's a good one.
And
Mhm.
honestly,
Very, very opposite, absolutely.
yeah. Lady Gaga, like that album, what is it? I don't even remember what it's called. Is it just Lady Gaga? I don't remember. Oh, The Fame. I'm like, what is the album called? The
Oh,
Fame.
uh-huh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That album is
That's a
so
good
good.
one.
Like that has like Lady Gaga's like most famous songs on it, and it was a vibe.
A a freaking bop. Yeah, that wasn't that the one with was that the one with, Bad Romance?
Yeah, no, that's the next one. This is the
Oh.
one with oh my gosh, now I'm not gonna be able to name any of them. Like Just Dance and Paparazzi and obviously The
Oh, yeah,
Fame.
yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Um,
that's that was her first one, wasn't it?
her first one,
Yeah.
such a vibe.
Y
I love old
that is.
school Lady
Honestly,
Gaga.
that was like disco techno, like, fun when
Yeah,
she would
between
wear, like, the
her,
glasses.
yeah, that was when she was like she was deep in that act that she put on for the first few years of her career. Where when somebody asked
Mhm.
her what her name was, she didn't know. It was like she was Lady Gaga and that was it. Nobody else ever existed before her. Like she just appeared one day. She was dressed as Bacon at one point. Like it was a whole era.
Ugh, the early I feel like that was what was that, like, early
That had to have been like
2010s?
yeah, it had been like 2010, 2011. Definitely like
2010
for
era.
me like middle of high school era.
Yeah.
And then we're going to like completely like 180 from that. And I have Toss a Coin to Your Witcher from the Netflix Witcher series,
now pour him some ale. Toss a coin to the witcher. Oh, valley of plenty. Oh, valley of plenty. Oh.
which is their, I believe, their outro song, um, sung by the actual actor who
What?
played Jaskier in The Witcher. And his voice is beautiful, first of all, but also, again, windows rolled down, song cranked all the way up. I will be
Mhm,
asking
mhm.
for you to toss a coin to your Witcher. Um, it's amazing. It's very dramatic, and I love it. I believe the actor who originally sings it is probably really sick and tired of either hearing it or seeing it around. But
Oh, I'm
it's
sure. I'm
it's an
sure.
iconic song. Like it's forever in Witcher history. And then we're gonna 180 once again, like back to the kind of like sexual songs. I have Warm Me Up by The Audition, and honestly, this song, first of all, very rock and roll, but also two, I just like mentally blocked out the meaning of this song for a very long time. And then one day, like a handful of years ago, I was just like, I wasn't singing to it for once. I was literally just listening to it. And I'm like,
Once you hit the lyrics hit you.
yeah. And I'm like, what is that? Like, what is happening? What is this? Um, a lot of times it didn't happen with this one, but I have had songs where I put it in the work playlist and then I play it out loud at work and I'm like, I should probably take that off the work playlist.
You're like, you listen to the lyrics, you're like, "That is I have not
Yeah.
been listening this entire time."
Nope, not at all. Or like you get to certain sections of the song and I'm like, that's a little like is it Panama by Van Halen? I think is what that song is. Like in the
Mhm.
middle, he gets very like breathy and is like, as you reach between my legs. And I'm like, oh, okay, we are taking this right off the work playlist. Like the rest of the song, fabulous. That one chorus in the middle, not gonna cut it.
You are
Um,
taking it way too far here.
yeah, I'm like, mm-mm. And then, okay, so my last three songs that I have are very nostalgic songs for me. Um, the first one, which I don't think you'll know, Casey, is from the oh my gosh, hold on, I'm gonna have to see what year that came out. It's from the Thunderbirds movie, which, if you don't know who the Thunderbirds are, it was like an 80s TV show that had like puppets and stuff. Or actually, I lied. It was a
Oh.
60s TV show. But it's basically about this family of astronauts that go around saving the world. Um, and they made a movie. I'm trying to see. In 2004, it had Bill Paxton. May he rest in peace. I love Bill Paxton. And it had Vanessa Hudgens, like at the very beginning of her career. She
Ooh.
was like, I don't know, maybe like 14. She's just a baby, but their like main theme song throughout that movie is on there. It's by a band called Busted, so they actually got like an actual band to make a song for the movie, which I thought was pretty cool. Um, it's also a bop. And then right after that, I have which f- to nobody's surprise is What's New Scooby Doo by Simple Plan.
What's the Scooby-Doo? We're coming after you. You're gonna solve that mystery. I see you, Scooby-Doo. The trail leads back to you. What's the Scooby-Doo?
I love Simple Plan as a band.
And Scooby Doo, obviously. Like,
Yes. The most iconic like collaboration that you could get for a kids show for the title, honestly. And then my last one, which is probably one of the most random ones, but every time it pops up on my drive to work, I have to sing it, and it's Double Trouble from the Pokemon soundtrack. That's which is the Team Rocket song.
yes, Team Rocket. Great,
Oh,
great
it's so
choice.
good. It's so good. It's such a bop. It's the best like duo song ever.
Absolutely.
But but yeah, that's all. That's my 10 songs. Those are the ones that I thought that like were the most like out of pocket songs that I had. Because if you look at like, because I have a now playlist, if you look at like my now
Mhm.
playlist, which is currently all Bad Omens, and then you were to look at this playlist, you'd be like, are you sure this is the same person? And
Yeah, see,
it
that's why I
is.
can't, like, just listen to my liked playlist because I'm always in, like, a mood for something, so, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'll be, like, tailoring my Spotify playlist down. I'm like, "Specific playlist. This is what I
Yeah.
wanna listen to."
Mm-hmm.
I think that people that listen to their liked songs are psychopaths.
I am.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
yes, but that's
But
okay.
that's why we're friends.
Yes. Even
We're
though
we're
it's funny
both
too because I
psychopaths,
feel
just
like
in different
people
ways.
it's crazy too because I feel like, for me, I literally only ever listen I don't think I ever put my shuffled songs on. And in my real life, my real everyday life is like
Mm-hmm.
a shuffled song playlist, okay?
Yeah.
Just disorganized. You don't know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah.
It could be a sad song, it could be one of these songs on my hear me out list, you know?
Mhm.
Um, and that's my life.
Yeah,
But
you are the
my music
embodiment
is very
of the shuffle
organized.
button, but you
Yeah,
don't want your
absolutely.
songs to be that way.
No, no, nope. Um, so when I was putting my list together, I also went through my
Mhm.
liked songs, and I just realized there's like a bit of a theme going on. Okay.
Mhm, mhm.
And I don't know if this says anything about me as a person,
Probably.
but I'm gonna start with okay. So I have like a bunch of different songs on here, but my first one, which is gonna
Mhm.
start right into the theme of my songs, is the the Five Nights at Freddy's movie
Oh.
title soundtrack.
Yeah,
Is
what a
wonderful.
bop.
It doesn't have any, like, like, singing or anything, but
No.
I
I
for,
mean, it
like, a
has the
solid month and a half,
ah.
that was the only thing I fell asleep to.
Fair, but also concerning.
Yeah, also, I mean, I do fall asleep to Stranger Things, like, not this like the TV show,
Yeah.
but, um, I do fall asleep listening to
To
some of the
like true
podcasts I
crime.
listen to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know
You're one
how
of those.
I I wonder why my dreams are so crazy, but,
Yeah.
yeah, I love that. I love
Or why
Five
you
Nights at
have
Freddy's.
anxiety all the time and
Honestly, probably. I should probably stop doing that, but,
yeah.
um, I won't. So, my next song
So is your theme horror? Is that what the theme
no,
is?
so
Okay,
this is a
good.
theme for I guess it's only, like, 3 songs.
Mhm.
They're all kind of like you'll see, okay?
Okay.
So, my
Okay.
next song you've probably honestly never heard of these because
Mhm.
half of them I found in, like, 2020 TikTok era, um,
Mhm.
but one of them is called "Join Us for a Bite."
We're feeling festive. Join the party, we'll try hard not to bite. Anger is restless. Don't hold it against us. We're alright. The fun is
And it is a Five Nights at Freddy's song on
Oh,
YouTube.
yes. Yes. I
Yes.
have heard of that one.
Yeah. I think it's supposed to be for their, like, sister location, I'm not sure. I love that
Yeah, they
song, and if
played
it
it at the
plays, I
end
will
though,
crank it.
right? Didn't they play it at
Did they?
in the
I don't know.
credits?
Oh, they
I feel
might
like
have.
they
I
did
don't
play it
know.
in
I
the
don't
credits. I don't know, and I'm gonna Google it.
it's by I don't know. It says JT Music.
It doesn't say. I have heard that one before though.
Oh, yeah. So it was like a YouTube video. It was the FNAF sister location song. Um So it's about their sister location, but it's very catchy. And anytime it plays, and I know all the words to it, which is like embarrassing. Um, which then brings me to my next song, which is called Stay Calm.
Mhm.
stay calm, stay calm. They are watching through the screen. Stay calm, stay calm. They drive me crazy.
But I don't even know who it's by. Griffinilla. It's another Five Nights at Freddy's song. I don't know what to tell you at this point. Okay. I love Five Nights at Freddy's
Just FNAF.
and people make good music. It's catchy.
Yeah.
Um, that one I think I also found on TikTok. Like again, like a lot of these were like these weird songs or like from my like 2020 TikTok era when like TikTok was really fucking weird and like people were
Yeah.
like
Before
still
people
not
started
like
making
chill with
money off of
TikTok.
it.
Yeah, like yeah, exactly. Like before TikTok was listen, I've been on TikTok for a long time. I was on TikTok when people would like make fun of me and I was like, I don't care. It's fun. I like videos and I don't care. Um, which then brings me to my next series of songs. Um,
Mhm.
they're not Five Nights at Freddy's songs, so don't worry. But I did discover the Living Tombstone. Do you know who that is?
Mhm. No.
Oh, okay. They do a bunch of songs, but they have a song called No Mercy, and that was for sure on TikTok 2020. And you probably haven't heard of it, but I feel like if I played you a line, like a part in it, you would know exactly what it is. It's a Overwatch song.
Oh.
And they also have a
Who was
song
it by
called
again?
"The Living Tombstone." They also have a TikTok. Or they have a song called "Discord," which is also on my list.
Mhm.
I can't move at all. I curse the name, the one behind it all. Discord, I'm howling at the moon and sleeping in the middle of a summer afternoon.
So you should check them out because they're very catchy. They're very catchy songs. And then, okay, so my next two songs are their own theme. Um, these were in my liked playlist, and honestly, I do love these songs. Which is "I'm Just Ken."
She sees a friend. What will it take for her to see the man behind the tent fight for me?
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
And then like "Push" from the same movie, the Barbie movie, his
Oh,
version of the Matchbox 20
yeah.
song.
Just might feel good. I wanna push you around. Well, I will. Well, I will. I wanna push you down. Well, I will. Well,
I don't know why. I just
Yeah.
love that. I honestly think it's better than the original. Sorry, Matchbox 20.
Oh, yeah.
But Ryan
No, for
Gosling
sure.
really slayed that cover.
Yeah.
And if it ever comes on, that is I listen to it. I also so I had a really hard time picking out songs because a lot like I have a whole playlist of like anime songs, and I
Mhm.
feel like
I almost texted you no anime songs
I put
because we
one in
both
there.
have.
I
Oh,
put
okay.
one because it is at the end of season I think it's oh my god, because season 4 was so many parts. I think it was part 1 of
Of
season 4
Attack
of
on
Attack
Titan?
on Titan.
Hmm.
Um, and it's one of the outro songs,
その目を開いて触れた世界だけただただ生きるのは嫌だ
and it's like a
Mhm.
slow song, but it's so beautiful, and I have no idea what they're saying, but I will scream that song.
Yeah.
And I think it was like 2022 that was like my number 1 song, um, of
That's
the year.
hilarious.
Yeah, because I was like obsessed with that song. And like
Yeah.
to the point where sometimes I would like cry listening to it. It was so beautiful. So that's why I only included one because I was like I could include all the anime songs because like
Basically, yeah.
we all know that we all sing along to anime songs even though we have no clue what they're saying.
Yeah, it's so funny because I'm currently watching Dandadan with Wyatt and Joe, and Joe and I will both sing along to the intro song, and Wyatt's like, "You know, you guys are out of sync," and we both go, "Not according to us," because like we're watching like via the internet, so like the lag for Wyatt and for all of us, but like Joe and I don't care, but we will sing the song, and he's like, "You guys aren't singing the lyrics," and we're like, "Does it matter?" The answer is no, it does not.
No. Yeah, as long as you are, sound like you kind of know what you're saying, even if you don't, like
Hmm.
it's nobody's gonna nobody's gonna tell the difference. I promise.
I remember reading a Tumblr post like eons ago that somebody said they had like an exchange student like with them in the car, and they were singing along to a Fallout Boy song, and like she didn't actually know the words. She was literally just like making the same noises as Patrick, and her friend was like, "Wow, you know all the words?" And she's like, "Oh, no. No, I don't.
No.
I don't know any of them actually. I just know what they kind of sort of sound like."
Yeah.
And I'm
I
like, "Yeah,
yeah,
it's a vibe."
like sometimes s- especially when like it's hard to understand what they're saying, you're like I'm just going to mumble these
Mhm.
words and it's about the same.
Yeah, and then you look up the I don't know about you, but I've looked up the lyrics to some songs. And I'm like, I would have never in a million years had known that's what you were saying, like ever.
Yeah. Yeah, once you finally look up the lyrics, you're like, "What? That's what you were saying?"
Yeah, I did that recently. I did it with two songs recently. So like the first song was, oh my gosh, it was a Bad Omens song. Does it take me first? Yeah, and he says jumping on a hand grenade,
Oh,
and
mhm.
I thought he said choking on a hand grenade, which I think my lyric is better, but we'll let Noah do what he wants.
Yeah.
Um,
It's more metal.
but I did it with, yeah, and I did that, and then because of Wyatt, all the Arcane season 2 stuff has been across like all of my social media, and they came out with a song called Paint the Town Blue, and there was always this one word that she sings, and I'm like, I don't know what word that is. Like, I don't understand. And I looked at the lyrics, and she's saying the word evil, but she says it so weird that it does not sound like that at all.
Yeah.
So like now every time I that song pops up, I can't listen to it because I'm like, you're saying that word so wrong that I can't. I can't with you.
I'm gonna do a song that I know you will know, and it's in my
Mhm.
liked songs,
Mhm.
and I feel like every time it comes on, I do have to scream it, which is "My Humps" by the Black Eyed
Mhm.
Peas.
Time on me. She's got me spending. Oh, spending all your money on me, on me. What you gonna do with all that junk? All that junk inside that trunk?
Honestly, the Black Eyed Peas in general.
Oh,
Like
the Black Eyed
I have a
Peas
few
was
songs
so
like that.
underrated and overly
Yeah.
iconic. Like, they never got their
Mhm.
chance to shine really, like, truly like they should have.
Yeah.
Um,
I do that with I'm a bee. I'm a
yeah,
bee. I'm a bee. But like it's a vibe.
but "My Humps" is just such an iconic song because it's like,
Mhm.
what is you made this song? This is a
Yeah.
real song. Like, I feel like if I showed this to, like,
Mhm.
a Victorian child, they would die. They would be like
Yeah.
like, their ears would just start bleeding because they would be like, "What the fuck is this?" You know? Because it's like, "What?" But I do love that song. Um, Also in my go-to, it's a really old song, like G6.
Bottles in the ice, like a blizzard. When we drink, we do it right. Getting slizzard, sipping scissor, paper ride.
I feel like whenever that song comes on,
Yes.
it just brings me back to, like, MySpace, and,
Yeah.
it makes me feel like I'm young again. Even though I was, like,
I love
12 when it came out probably, I don't know,
yeah.
and I was, like, wanted to
Yeah. I
be
do love the meme with that song that's like, man, nobody's getting slizzard or feel
nobody
like a
gets
G6
slizzard
these
like they used
days.
to. It's true. It's
Oh
true. Like
gosh.
like
It is. It is true.
like, I feel like MySpace, like, I wish I was, like, 21 when MySpace came out because I feel like the
Yeah.
twenty-one-year-old MySpace era was so crazy.
Yeah,
Because I was,
for
like,
sure.
just watching from the sidelines, being a teenager, not being able to do anything, but, yeah, that's a good song. That is, like, a if I'm, like, going out, that's, like, a song I would play, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what other one just popped in my head, which I don't know if you've ever heard of. I feel like it is a popular song. Is I think it's just called "Pretty Rave Girl."
Oh, mhm,
I
mhm.
like this pretty rave girl that always sing about her, and like that song was like on repeat in my head for a long time. But yeah, basically I tried to also avoid like super nostalgia songs for this because like originally because I have like a lot of like the High School Musical and the Camp Rock and
Mhm.
like all the like Ludacris and Neo and like all of like the really like things that would be nostalgic for me and you on there, and I'm like, I feel like because the era of the early 2000s fashion wise is looping back around, which is a tragedy in some aspects, but so is all the music and all the movies and stuff that came with that era, so I feel like a lot of them aren't necessarily like hear me out songs anymore because
Mhm.
they're like popular again,
Yeah.
which is weird.
And then my last song is I didn't wanna add okay, my last song is by System of a Down, and I didn't wanna add a bunch
Okay.
of System 'cause listen, a lot of their song if you don't listen to System of a Down and you heard one of their songs, truly any of them, you'd be like, "What?"
What is
But
this?
this one in particular,
Mhm.
was one of my first introductions to System of a Down, and that song is called
Mhm.
Violent Pornography.
Get on your TV. Everybody living now. Everybody sucks. Everybody living now. Everybody fucks. Everybody living now.
Oh.
Um, yeah, it's a good song. It's a good song. Um, System of a Down, and that was like the first song I listened to when I listened to, and I was a lot younger than I should have been.
Than you should have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like for all of the songs that we consider nostalgia, it's like that. It's like we should not have been like listening to this cuz like that's my like gauge for what I will play at work and what I won't play at work is if they played it at my 7th grade junior high winter
Mhm.
formal, it's fine to play at work. But then, like, some of them, I think I got, like, kids bopped out of a few of them because some of them I listened to, like, the OG song, and I'm like, I must have had the radio edit when I was younger because I literally do not remember this, like, line of lyrics being in here. Um, but yeah, I mean, I feel like that's just how music is, though, because there's not really, like, at least back in the day with radio, there's not like stations like for kids. It was always like for adults.
Mhm.
So you just get a mix of everything. And then like a lot of us grow up listening to whatever our parents listen to, but they're full grown adults. They listen to
Yeah.
adult music.
Mhm. Yeah, like my mom's favorite band around like the time I was growing up and when I was born was Green Day. And
Ah, yeah.
I just remember like having Green Day CDs just on loop. And then like
Mhm.
as I got older, I like listened to the lyrics and I'm like, that's crazy. I was just singing that
Yeah.
when I was 8 years old and nobody said
Mhm.
anything to me.
Nope.
Nobody was like,
Not at
hey,
all. They think it's cute at that point,
yeah.
honestly.
And it's like, well, that's okay. Well, but yeah, I agree. Now it's like my taste in music is just like it's pretty much on one side of the spectrum, although it will just quickly shift over to the other side when a
Yeah,
weird good
lightning
song comes
fast.
up.
All it takes is one song in the right mood, and you're like, well, here we are.
Yeah. Mhm. But that was a good trend. I like that. That was a good idea. Good thinking on that
Yeah,
one, which also is
yeah,
so exciting because Spotify wrap up is coming up.
yay! One of the best season. It's the like best part of November now, although it can be as late as December. So hopefully it's towards November.
Which is
It's
crazy because
the
they
only
stopped
thing I
tracking
look forward
on
to.
October 31st.
Oh,
So, anything after October 31st is free game to, like, listen to. Um, if you
yeah.
wanna listen to Crazy Frog 100,000,000 times, you should do it
Literally,
in
Crazy
November.
Frog almost made the list.
Oh my god, you know what else I was thinking about? Um,
Hmm.
you know the song, "I'm a Gummy Bear"?
Yes.
Okay, so not
The
okay,
Spanish version?
listen what?
The Spanish version?
Yes! It's so catchy.
Yeah, and, like, that was, like basically, like, back in the day, that was the viral sound, like, that would've been like, if we had TikTok or even Vine at that point,
That would've gone viral.
super viral. So
Absolutely.
viral. I mean, and it still does occasionally, not necessarily Gummy Bear, but, like, the Crazy Frog, that I noticed will come back occasionally, um, which I love that Crazy Frog. He's so crazy.
He is so
Um,
crazy.
but yeah, I like that, the Gummy Bear, and then the Spanish version, and then the Crazy Frog. That was like our viral sounds
Mhm.
of our youth.
Yeah.
It was just like the dumbest songs ever, but like
But that was
I
our
don't know
youth.
how, but everybody knew them.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Mhm. And they are a classic. A classic. They will go down in history.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm really excited this year for it because um I feel like my wrap up's gonna be such a wild card because last year a lot of my favorite artists and shit came out with like new music. They went on tours.
Mhm.
I stuck to like very specific artists. This year it's like, oh my gosh, I'll listen to one artist for 3 weeks straight and then another one for 3 weeks straight. It could be anything. It could be anything at this point. So I'm excited to see
Yeah.
what I listen to the most.
Do you have predictions? Should we do predictions?
Oh, should we?
Or
Or
should
should we
we
do that?
save that?
What? Who?
Should we
What?
save it?
I think we
Save
should
our
save it. We should
predictions?
save it. I do want to do
Okay.
predictions because I do have some
Yes.
predictions and I want to see if they're correct.
Yeah. Yes, yes. So we'll save predictions, but if you guys have any "Hear Me Out" songs, make sure to put them in the comments below, because now you can comment on all the places that you're currently listening to the podcast, which is very exciting. Actually, I take that back. I don't know if you can comment on Apple Podcasts, but you can comment on Spotify now, and then you can obviously comment on YouTube. So put your Hear Me Out playlist in the somewhere down below. Casey and I will post ours on our podcast page because I think we can do that. I'll figure it out. But we'll make that available to you so you can listen to our Hear Me Out playlist as just one giant mix CD. Um, and then before we wrap up, Casey, I have a surprise for you.
Wait.
So shout out to my best friend Natalie, who is a diehard country music fan and also one of our biggest fans of the podcast. She listens to us all the time. She was devastated that you, quote unquote, don't like country
Mhm.
and that you don't listen to country. So while I was in Oklahoma, she was like, listen, I made, I need Casey to listen to certain songs. And I told her I go make her a playlist. So she made you a country music playlist.
Wow, how nice.
Yes. I was like, that's one of Casey's love languages is making her a playlist and being like, here, I made this for you.
Yes, absolutely. Country
So
music,
yeah,
a little questionable, but I will give it a gander, okay? Is that
yeah, she
country?
honestly she curated this for you. I told her as much as like cuz her number 1 is Alan Jackson. I did tell her I go Alan Jackson might be a little too country
I do
for
country.
Casey's taste. But she curated it's a lot of like newer country music. So she has curated this playlist for you
Oh my god, thank
and
you.
she's
Thank you
like,
so
I
much,
think
Natalie.
Casey will like all of these songs. So, the next episode, so make sure you subscribe. We'll be going through that because I glanced at it, but I haven't listened. I know some of the songs, but I haven't listened to it. So Casey and I will both give it a listen to, and then I figured we could discuss that in our next episode. Apparently November is going to be all about music so far. So
Oh my gosh, it's a musical month.
yes. So make sure to subscribe wherever you're listening so you can check that out. I will also when next week's episode premieres, I will put Natalie's country music playlist on our Spotify thingamabob
Yeah,
as well
you're
so
just
you
gonna have
guys can
so
listen
much
to
stuff to
that.
listen to.
Yeah, like we got you, fam. We will help you survive this holiday season with the content. Um, but don't forget to subscribe. Rate us 5 stars if you so choose. I mean, you can rate us less, but I feel like if you're this far into the podcast, you might as well just
Yeah,
give
you
us
might as
five
well just hit
stars.
that extra
Um,
star.
yeah. Don't forget to follow us on all the social media because that's where we will update you the most. We have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I think I made us a threads by accident
Oh, I did.
because
I did.
Instagram
That
was
was
just
me.
like, "Oh, did you? Okay, okay." Because it was just like, "Oh, you posted to threads too," and I'm like, "Awesome!" I don't know how, but
Like,
cool.
what?
So yeah, you could find us basically everywhere but Twitter. Don't look for us there. We will not be there. Um, and yeah, I think that's it. Casey, do you have any last words before we go?
I don't think so. I'm very excited for this country journey I'm about to
We
take.
should rate each other's what should we rate each other's hear me out playlists?
Yeah, yours was a 10 out of 10. I would listen to that playlist on my way to work, probably.
Yeah, I would say yours is a 10 out of 10 as well. I feel like yours is like the like themed one, and then mine is like the truly like random bottom of the barrel, like what is this?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So 10 out of 10. You can tell like who like it's weird because I always think I'm like a very themed person. Casey and I are both very themed oriented, but I feel like Casey's themed orientedness comes out with playlists in particular.
Mhm.
Like you
Mhm.
can just like just looking at the song list, you're like, "Ah, I see the mood. I get it."
Yeah. Yeah, that's how all my playlists are on Spotify. Because 'cause I'll just be, like, in a mood for certain like, I'll listen to one band, right? And I'm like, "I only
Yeah.
wanna listen to 4 songs by this band," so I'll make it a playlist. I'll make 4
Oh,
songs
yeah,
into
for
a
sure.
playlist of an artist, and I'm like, "This is what I'm listening to for the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Nobody talk to me."
Oh, yeah, and nobody ask any questions, alrighty?
Yeah.
Alright, we'll see you guys in the next episode, so bye!
Bye.